Lesson 10 of Microsoft Word, covering SmartArt graphics, text effects, and page borders. Word comes with a set of what's called the SmartArt graphics objects that you can insert to create diagrams. And you can create diagrams such as organizational charts, Venn diagrams. All that can be done in a document. You can use a SmartArt graphic to illustrate information, concepts, and ideas. So kind of a nice visual diagram to add to your document. To insert a SmartArt graphic, I'm going to go in my Insert tab, and in my Illustrations group here, I have my SmartArt. I have different options here, so I'm going to go with the hierarchy, and I'm going to go with the organization chart here. All right, a lot of different options. I can have a pyramid graphic, matrix graphic here. I want to go hierarchy and organization chart here. And now you can see when I double click, all right, my chart art appears. And let's just bring this down a little bit. So I'm going to close the task pane. I just want it below this title. Okay. Now, I have my SmartArt here. What came up, all right, that you saw in our Create Graphic group. Now, just like pictures and shapes, we get its own tabs. And here we have two. We have a Design tab and a Format tab for SmartArt. But what you saw that occurred was a text pane. And I can insert text in the shape. I can also insert text here in the text pane. SmartArt objects, as you can see, are comprised of shapes in which we are going to add text. So I have my text pane up. If I want to hide it, I can just click it again in the Create Graphic group, but I want to have it up. I'm going to go with the first shape, which is here on this bullet, or I can just click the shape here and type in President. You can see it auto formats for us as well. I'm going to go to the next shape in the middle, which I can do here, or I'm just going to go in the middle here to show. I'm going to type in executive assistant, and in the others, the bottom three, I'm going to click on the shape. Let's call one VP Vice President Sales. Call this one in the middle VP Operations, and this one all the way to the right, Vice President of Finance. So this is an organizational chart within a business. Here we are adding text. You could have done it also to your text pane as well. With SmartArt, you can modify the design of most SmartArt graphics, and you can also add shapes. So for an example, I don't know, a few that I'm going to go through. I have my VP of Sales shape selected. If I wanted to add a shape in my Create Graphic group, I can just go ahead and click Add Shape, and you can see a shape appears here. And maybe I wanted to add an extra line of management, a regional manager. Okay. Since I added this shape for VP Sales, it goes right underneath. So you can see this line here. Let's add another shape. I'm going to go to the President shape, and now I can just add a shape, or if I want to go more specific, I can hit the drop down arrow and I can add a shape before, above, below. I can add an assistant, and I can also add a shape after. But for here, I want to add a shape above, and of course at the top of our organizational chart is the CEO. I'm going to go to VP Sales now, and you can also demote a shape, which decreases the level of the selected shape, or I can promote. All right, I'm going to demote Vice President Sales. And for the regional manager, I'm going to move him up ahead of the Vice President of Sales. So I'm going to just go to this Move Up option here. To select the entire SmartArt, you have this kind of white window here. I'm going to select this window, and as I mentioned before, I can modify the design of this SmartArt. So in our layouts group, we're still in the design tab here. All right, I have different options here, and I'm going to go with the hierarchy layout. So I'm just looking for that one here. All right, and I found it. You can also change colors, and this is in our SmartArt styles group. So if I go to change colors, I'm going to look for one in the 3D, in the colorful, I should say. That's called accent colors. So I'm kind of looking for it here. Here we go, which is perfect. And then I'm going to change the style. All right, just like picture styles, you have SmartArt styles. I'm going to go more, and in a 3D, this is what I was mentioning before. I'm going to look for the one that says cartoon. Perfect. If I want to reset, in case I made any mistakes in my reset group in the design tab, I can just reset the graphic, but I want to keep it as is. All right. So that's SmartArt. We added text, we modified the design, and we added shapes. And we have done this before, but just to reiterate, text effects. With text effects has shadows, fills, outlines, and that all adds visual interest to text, especially when you're making advertisements and brochures, which we'll be doing in class. So for this text company organization chart, I'm going to go in my home tab, my font group, here with the A to Z text effects icon. I'm going to click the drop down, and I'm going to look for the gradient fill purple accent for reflection, which I know is here. You know because the name pops up as it does here. And with Word documents, I can also add a page border. All right, I can add borders to areas in the document, or I can add a border around the entire document. So let me just kind of zoom out here so we can see. Borders are located in the page layout tab, in the page background group. If I go to page borders, I got to make sure that I have the page borders tab selected, and the color that I'm going to want to add to my page border is purple, and I'm going to make the width kind of very just like an outline you did for text boxes to 1 point. And I have different settings here where I can have a kind of 3D look, custom look, a box look. I'm going to go with this box look. Click OK, and you can see it appears here. But you can also add art. So if I go back to my page borders, which is in the page background group, if I click the art, there's a bunch of different art preloaded into Microsoft Word. So I'm just going to go on one of these globes, select OK, and here I have now a page border with art. So covering SmartArt, text effects, and page border.